I can order a full fancy restaurant quality meal, book a therapy session, order groceries to my house, binge watch 5 episodes of a favorite show, learn how to speak in any language I could think of, or even order any piece of clothing, all without getting out of bed. Sounds amazing. Yeah, it does. It does sound amazing. But if I tell you that all of this convenience is actually making us kind of miserable and rewiring our brains and function systems, everything is faster, everything is easier, everything is prettier, but is it actually better? I don't think it is actually better. This video is about that because I've been thinking about this topic for a very long time now. I think it's a very interesting and current topic to talk about. This is going to be about why convenience is killing depth, killing creativity, and killing our connection. Yeah. Oh, today we're talking about the dark side of convenience. And let me start with saying that convenience is incredible. I'm not saying for you to cut off everything that is convenient, because we actually as humans are tied and drawn to convenience because we were always looking for ways to make stuff easier and travel faster and do that and do that. You know, you can fill out the blanks. But I'm not saying for you to like throw out every single piece of electric, technical, whatever stuff, okay? I'm not recommending you to do that, not at all. But life has become so optimized and it's borderline dystopian. Like actually, everything is easier. And why? Why is everything easier? And why does that make us feel worse and just sadder, lonelier, and definitely lazier? When in theory, if you just think about it, it would make us feel happier and healthier and everything, but it's not. And by the way, this isn't a hate letter to Uber Eats or Amazon or Netflix, but it's more like a love letter to like slowness and slow living and to meaning and to things that don't come in 24 hours or less. Let's start with where we are right now, shall we? Convenience culture is the default setting. Need groceries, you can have them by the door in 20 minutes or less. Want to work out, there is probably an app. Want to date, there's an app for that as well. Don't like this person, just swipe left and forget that they ever existed. But the problem is, it's not just about making everyday life simpler, which it was before. It's not just about that anymore. It's rewiring and changing our expectations about how life should actually feel. We expect ease. We expect speed, we expect efficiency, and we expect instant gratification. And anything that takes longer than a few minutes, pass. Hard pass. Now on the flip side, what happens when things aren't convenient? Let's talk about handwriting a letter, making bread from scratch, including the sourdough starter, you know, like Nara Smith. Actually, I think that there is a subconscious thing behind the hate on Nara Smith, because I know it's like she makes bread in like Dior gowns, so it is not really functional and realistic for average person. But I do think that a lot of hate for her was that she could buy bread from any store, like just buy it and be done with it in 5 minutes. But she chooses to make the bread like by herself and everything, because like of course she wants health and she wants to, I guess she wants like to make healthy stuff for her and her family. But I also think that it's connected maybe to the fact that people are so obsessed, and I would say addicted to anything that's convenient. And if something is not convenient, then it feels wrong, and it feels like you won't make sourdough starter and then make the whole bread by yourself. You would rather go and buy it from the store. So Nara Smith making the bread might be kind of a hit to your ego or something. I don't know, that's just my opinion, okay? I did not do like a social experiment on that, but moving on. Or maybe sitting through an entire album, cover to cover, start to finish, without skipping anything, without, I don't know, moving the song forward. There's some effort there too. There's some presence, and that's where meaning happens. That's where it starts. Even something like watching a movie in theater instead of streaming it, or streaming a movie at home and not being on your phone. Because let me tell you, most people can't sit through a movie without being on their phone. It's just the way it is. Now maybe moving on to the myth of efficiency. Big influencers have sold us the idea that we could be optimizing everything, and big tech gurus have sold us that idea. Our sleep, our workouts, our calendars, our coffee orders, grocery orders, everything. But what if doing less efficiently is the actual point of life? Those are just my thoughts, but if you want to sound existential, right? Maybe that's the whole point. Convenience makes everything smooth and quick at like the speed of light, but smooth doesn't equal soul and real and raw and actual life. We lose texture, we lose the stories, we lose culture, we lose the weird, messy part of life, the middle. Think about buying vintage clothes versus fast fashion. I know that vintage and like secondhand shopping is like very popular right now, but yeah, it has more personality and history. One has more personality and history, and the second one has microplastics. Choose between those two. Of course, you cannot get the same exact thing from a vintage store that you can get from a fast fashion store. They're not identical. They're not. I don't know, that's just on you, but I won't be getting into like climate change and stuff, but it's also a part of that. Or cooking with your grandma versus reheating a pre-packaged meal. One teaches you love, patience, and just passes something onto you maybe. The other teaches you to survive in a way, not to feel anything really. Anything other than satisfaction from your meal. Okay, so what now? We're not anti-convenience, not at all. We're not trying to churn butter or live like it's in the 16th century, of course. It's about balancing ease with intention. Balancing these two. Start slow or implement little inconvenient things into your life, of course, that you can fit there. For example, walk to the store instead of taking the car. If the store is like 10 minutes away, of course. If it's 2 hours away, of course you won't walk. You forgot milk, you gotta go buy it, and it's 2 hours away. Of course you won't go walking because you want the milk in your coffee right now, so you will drive, and yeah, you get the point. Reading an actual book, eat dinner without your phone. That is hard. Make life a little harder on purpose. For example, I try to implement inconvenience into my daily life sometimes, such as cooking from scratch sometimes. I don't know, making almond butter and almond milk, baking something from scratch, or walking as much as I can, wherever I can, or sewing my clothes sometimes. And there is probably more, but I can't think of anything else right now. But don't rush everything. And be more present with the life that you're feeling right now, and sit in stillness. You know, I think this is all really connected to hustle culture as well, but we won't be getting into that today. So next time something takes a little longer than a few seconds or a few minutes, don't be mad at something when it takes a little longer. If you've made it this far, you've actually done something against it, because this is not a TikTok that takes 30 seconds and explains the point in 30 seconds. So yeah, that's all from me. That's all from me today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm glad I could share this topic because it's been on my mind for quite a while. And I hope you take something from it. And if you liked it, then check out my channel or my Instagram as well. I have some more fun stuff on my channel. Sometimes introspective, sometimes completely random. Anyways, see you soon. Bye!